Hello, Tiger fans, and welcome to the Purple and Gold Report. I'm Egan Jones. Thanks for joining me today. Please subscribe and hit that like button. It helps me a lot. All right, let's look at this portal situation, or should I say portal chaos. First, let's look at who we do have so far. First of all, the first one was Jackson Harris, a wide receiver out of Hawaii. The 6'3", 205 wide receiver totaled 49 receptions for 963 yards and 12 touchdowns in 10 games. Harris is the first transfer commitment of the Lane Kiffin era at LSU. Next, we picked up Racine Gilry, a running back from Utah. He was a 3-star recruit in the 2025 class per the 24/7 Sports composite. He redshirted this past season. We need to build up that running back room, fellas. All right, next, Malachi Thomas, tight end from Pittsburgh. The Pitt transfer has committed to LSU. He is 6'4", 240 pounds, tight end and will have 2 years of eligibility left. I like that. Next, wide receiver Trey Brown. The Old Dominion transfer has committed to LSU. He totaled 38 catches for 762 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2025. He will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. And next, defensive tackle Stephalion Green. Mr. Green, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your first name. Green, a 6'4", 290-pound transfer defensive tackle. He started 14 games across the 3 seasons he spent with the Clemson False Tigers. In 2025, he recorded 18 tackles and 2.5 sacks as a redshirt sophomore. 6 of those tackles came in Clemson's Week 1 home loss to our LSU Tigers. And next, Ty Benefield. LSU is adding a transfer safety who starred at Boise State. Benefield was named first team All-Mountain West this past season after recording a team-high 107 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions. He has played in 41 games during his career and started 33 times, adding needed experience to the LSU secondary. Benefield has 1 more season of eligibility. He was ranked as the number 2 defensive back in the transfer portal, according to 24/7 Sports. And next, we have Rod Gainey, running back. Lane Kiffin and his offensive staff continue to beef up the LSU football running back room. The coaches added another tailback out of the transfer portal when Charlotte freshman running back Rod Gainey Jr. announced his commitment to the Tigers. Gainey joins Utah freshman tailback Racine Gilry, who signed with LSU earlier in the portal. This season for Charlotte, Gainey rushed for 260 yards on 74 carries with a touchdown. And now, next we have Jace Brown, wide receiver. Kansas State standout transfer wide receiver Jace Brown has committed to LSU. He totaled 115 receptions for 2,133 total yards and 14 touchdowns in his time with the Wildcats. Brown is the number 3 wide receiver in the On3 portal rankings. Next, we have wide receiver Trey Wilson. Wilson was a 5-star prospect when he signed with Florida in the 2023 class. He played 3 years as a Gator and piled up 107 catches for 1,043 yards and 10 touchdowns despite battling injuries throughout his career. He played 4 games in 2024 after suffering a knee injury and only 8 in 2025 due to a high ankle sprain. The former Gator is a shifty slot man when healthy, standing 5'10" and tipping the scales at 195. He was a freshman All-American in 2023 when he made 61 catches for 583 yards and 6 scores. Wilson joins Jackson Harris, Jace Brown, and Trey Brown in LSU's wide receiver haul thus far. And next we have punter Hayden Craig and long snapper Mac Mulhern. LSU is leaving no stone unturned. Kickoff duties are vitally important, and it may have slipped under the radar that Aaron Burrell, who handled those responsibilities for the Tigers, entered the transfer portal. To address the position, LSU added a kicker/punter to its 2026 roster through the portal. Hayden Craig, a 6'1", 208-pound redshirt freshman from Florida, did not see game action for the Gators in 2025, but is regarded as a high upside specialist. Snapping is also a critical part of the game, although often taken for granted. The Tigers also saw former Gators Mac Mulhern follow new special teams coordinator Joe Houston from Florida to LSU with a commitment. Craig was ranked as the number 11 punter at the prestigious Coles Kicking Camp in 25, where he earned 5-star ratings as both a kicker and punter. He finished as the number 3 ranked punter in the 2025 signing class. His kickoffs routinely traveled 65 yards with an average hang time of 4 seconds. His punts consistently carried 46 yards. LSU's 2025 punter, sophomore Grant Chadwick, ranked 4th in the SEC last season. His season-long was 71 yards against South Carolina. Craig is expected to serve as LSU's primary kickoff specialist. In the event of an injury to Chadwick, Craig also provides a viable punting option. And last but not least, LSU picked up Matt Starzyk, a kicker from the Razorbacks. He made 14 of 18 field goal attempts this past season and all 47 extra points. Lane Kiffin and the LSU Tigers are hosting the number 8 overall transfer in the portal, Utah edge John Henry Daly. He's been making the rounds. He went to Michigan. He went to Notre Dame. He's going all over the place. I don't know if we're going to get him or not, but he is currently on a visit to Baton Rouge. The 6'4", 247-pounder logged 11.5 sacks in 2025. He would be a great addition. Now let's talk about the portal quarterback chaos. All right, so you had Sam Leavitt here for a couple of days. It looked like Lane and his team were going to grab Leavitt. But then, while they were at the basketball game, Tuesday night? Then you hear Demond Williams. Demond Wilson was on Sanford and Son. Demond Williams out of Washington. Now, the connection here is that Demond and Lane and his team have been dancing back and forth the last couple of years. The Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. really love this guy. And I encourage you to Google him and watch some video because this kid is fast and he can fly and he runs like a gazelle. I mean, he makes Jaden Daniel look like he's running in slow motion. All right? Now, the big mess is Demond signed with Washington like a week ago. And then he decides he wants to go. And Washington's upset. They want to keep him. And they're threatening a lawsuit. But, these kids aren't employees. They're just like the coaches. Yeah, Lane Kiffin had a contract, but he saw a better job, and so he said, I'm going to take this job. Now, they got it. The kid signed with Washington, and then he decided, hey, he may be deciding, we don't know. He may be deciding, I want to go to LSU and play for Lane and Charlie Weiss Jr. What's the problem? I think they ought to let him do it. We'll see. It's going to be crazy. LSU needs this kid. Look, Sam Leavitt with that Lisfranc, that's Lisfrank, injury to his foot. I mean, he may not even be ready in August. That's tendons and ligaments and bones broken and stuff in your foot. So, yeah, he looks like a great player, great athlete, but not his wheels. His wheels are busted. So, he ran up and talked to Tennessee. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. Keep an eye out. Let's watch this. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Check that like button. Please subscribe. I need 18 more subscribers to get to 50. You hear these people say, I want to get to 30,000 in 2026. Well, look, I would just like to get to 50 so that I can start doing live streams. All right, folks. Thanks again. I appreciate your time. And go Tigers!